In a moment's notice, the day's top story can change. The weather can take a turn for the worst, and one score can lead to the upset of a lifetime. That's why NewsNet is working to bring you the latest throughout the day and into the night, with constant updates on developing stories and continuing coverage of the news that affects you. So be sure to join me, Remington Hernandez, every weeknight on NewsNet Evening Edition.
Good afternoon and welcome to your hour. I'm Cheryl Nett.
And I'm Ron Nett, and as it said, today in history.
Okay.
In 1844, Samuel Morse sent the first telegraph message across the country. And it was, "What has God wrought?" And if he only knew with what's happening today in telecommunications with IPTV and all that, that was the forefather of all the things that are happening today.
Yeah.
Kind of neat. Also in 1883, they opened the Brooklyn Bridge. We were around then, weren't we? Yeah.
Well, one of us wasn't.
That's right, both of us wasn't. And today's birthday, Tommy Chung is 68, Bob Dylan is 65, and Priscilla Presley is a well-preserved 61.
Very well preserved.
Yes.
I agree.
What else do we have today?
Well, we have the much anticipated Chapman stick.
I've been waiting to see that Chapman stick.
I know, and isn't it interesting? Have you seen it? You haven't seen it yet?
I haven't. I've heard it being played. But
Okay, well, it's really interesting. But Trevor Stewart is here, and he's going to be playing the Chapman stick. And we're going to have Betty Suprake from Interworks Holistic Health Center. She's going to be talking about yoga and the benefits of yoga. Allison Dayette is going to, is a satellite interview that I did last week, talking about companies that give back to the community. And then we'll have Stacy Johnson with Money Talks, who's going to talk about checking your telephone contract, because you might be paying for a leased phone that you no longer own or that you no longer have.
And features on your house phone, too.
Right. And then resolving conflicts with neighbors. That's always good to know how to do. And then stick around. I think you and I are going to read from the opinion line.
There's a lot of good ones today.
Yeah, there were. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go away.
Don't go away. We'll be back with Trevor Stewart when your hour continues.
Hair, that's our business. We're Riverside Hair Station at the corner of 11th and Bidding. We're a cool, funky salon with modern styles and a relaxed atmosphere. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Riverside. Specializing in all hair services, we also offer tanning, nails, massage, waxing, and makeup. Gift certificates are always available. So come experience Riverside Hair Station at 816 West 11th or call 264-4807.
As the day breaks, so does the news. So while you're getting ready or making breakfast, the world is changing, and it doesn't stop when you walk out the door. That's why here at NewsNet, we work around the clock to bring you the latest developments. On today's top stories, what's happening in the world of entertainment, last night's scores, and your forecast. So be sure to join me, Victoria Idoni, every weekday on NewsNet Mornings.
Closing a deal, that point when customers commit to buying whatever they're selling. Advertising sales agents sell advertising space to businesses and individuals to expand the public's awareness of products and services. They sell ads for online and print editions of publications such as radio, television, and more. Because their income and job security both depend on it, these sales agents invest a lot of their time building relationships with their customers. They research and analyze clients' needs and prepare creative, persuasive materials to encourage them to buy advertising. Many need to meet sales goals, so are continuously on the lookout for sources of new clients, making phone calls and office visits to interest them in advertising. Agents need to keep detailed contact and communication records and be prepared to draft advertising contracts for clients. They also need to represent their employer reliably and answer any questions a client may have. Good communication skills are essential for the field and a proven record of success in sales.
Hi, welcome back to Your Hour. My name is Chris Kingston, and here with me today I have Trevor Stewart, whose music is unique and the instrument that he plays is equally unique. Thank you for being here today, Trevor.
Well, thanks a lot. I'm glad to be here.
Now, how long have you been playing the Chapman stick?
I've been playing since October of '98.
Okay, cool. And the Chapman stick, it's played like a guitar, right?
Well, it's designed like a guitar. You have it's fretted like a guitar, except all you're doing is you're tapping on the strings. You're not you're not picking or plucking. You're just holding your strings against the frets, and that's how the sound is made. So since you have a free hand, you don't have to worry about picking or plucking. You can kind of play two guitars, at the same time. So it's more piano-ish, yet you still have vibrato techniques like you would with a guitar.
Oh, that is very cool. And it was invented in 1969, correct?
Yes.
By Emmett Chapman. And so you're going to play a little bit for us today?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll do that in just a second. Now, you have weekly performances all throughout Wichita. Is that correct?
Yes. I play. I guess we'll start at toward the end of the week. Fridays I play at Bellini's, which is down by the Old Town Warren. Saturdays I play at the Wichita Art Museum during lunch hour, and then that night, Saturday night, I play at the Uptown Bistro. Monday I'm again at the Uptown Bistro, and Wednesday and Thursday I'm at Adrian's Cafe at 21st and Rock, kind of by the Best Buy.
Oh yeah, right by the Best Buy. Okay, so and a lot of your songs, they are either written by you or is just improv, right?
Well, I kind of mix it up. Some of the stuff is improvised. Some of the stuff has a little bit of structure, and and then improvisation off of that. And then so I play some classical, some jazz. I mean, different people want to hear different things when you kind of play something exotic, So.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you play.
Well, thanks a lot.
Thanks for being here today again. Everybody, this is Trevor Stewart.
yard needs a cleanup and you need help. When your yard needs mowing and your neighbor's yard looks like this. Your shrubs need some trimming. Wichita Lawn Care does it all. Commercial and residential lawn maintenance. Fully insured, offering contactless billing to keep you safe. Fair, dependable, and on time. Services to match the budget. Excellent customer service. A Christian family business. Highly recommended on Google. Wichita Lawn Care LLC. Owner Adam Fry. 316-393-4162. We take pride in what we do.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at nationalcasagal.org.
Welcome to Jim Morgan's Dry Cleaning. We really appreciate your business.
And we are Wichita.
Jim Morgan's Fine Dry Cleaning is a full-service dry cleaner and shirt laundry specializing in high-quality and friendly customer service. We pay close attention to details throughout the entire dry cleaning process. And with over 30 years of experience in the industry, your garments will be clean and pressed to perfection. Jim Morgan's Fine Dry Cleaning is truly a full-service dry cleaner. We clean anything from suits, dresses, trousers, comforters, to draperies. What separates Jim Morgan's Fine Dry Cleaning from the other dry cleaners is we only have one location, and Jim is here waiting on you personally and answer any questions, whether you're in our store or on the telephone. Jim makes sure personally that your special requests are taken care of.
Well, now is the perfect time to refresh, update, and upgrade our homes. And there's no one better to help us achieve all of our home DIY dreams than celebrity designer HGTV's Chip Wade. Hi, Chip. It's good to have you here.
Good to be here, Cheryl.
So, what advice do you have for anyone who's looking to improve their home?
Well, it's always a great idea to embark in some type of DIY project, but I recommend using great materials when you do for the best results. Let's start in the bathroom. This is a product I found recently that is absolutely game-changing. This is the waterproof panel system from Wet Wall. You can install this right on your shower walls, even extend it out to cover the rest of your bathroom walls for that elevated, luxurious spa look. It has a very easy tongue and groove installation where they go together, which makes them grout-free and really, really durable. You can see this is a beautiful natural stone look, but they have all of the latest trends and design styles that you can find at wetwall.com. All right, let's transition from the bathroom into the kitchen and let's talk water quality, especially drinking water. This is the Culligan Aqua Essentials Smart RO system. This is the world's most efficient RO drinking water system. It has tons of features. It fits conveniently up underneath the cabinet. What it's going to do is it's going to, first of all, be self-cleaning, has 7 stages of filtration, and is certified to reduce 60 different contaminants. In a nutshell, this is going to make your water taste better, and it's going to be a lot safer. So basically what we can also do is connect to this device through the Culligan Connect app. It's going to allow us to track our water quality, also track our service needs, like when we need to change our filters. Now, for this particular product, I recommend getting the pros from Culligan to install this for you. You can find your local dealer at culligan.com. They're not far away.
Okay. What about the outside area?
Yes, when we transition to the outside area, which this time of year is perfect for thinking, getting the grass cut and looking great, we need to have the right tools to get that job done. Let's look no further than the 62-volt green machine. This thing is action-packed and powerful. The same battery fits in everything from the self-propelled mower to chainsaws, blowers, even the carbon fiber shaft string trimmer that is so light it's like you're not even holding a tool at all. Now, these batteries last up to 45 minutes, which is plenty. Really, really powerful. A 3-year warranty on these. 5-year warranty on all the tools, and you can get these all online exclusively at HomeDepot.com.
What about safety?
Finally, I've got some safety products that are also really, really great and timely. We all want to make our homes safer. This is the First Alert Easy Fire Spray. What's great about this is it's an alternative solution to the conventional home fire extinguisher. You can pack one of these guys anywhere, and it sprays just like an aerosol can, super easy. There's no pins to pull, no levers to squish. It's just really easy, ergonomic, but yet still super effective. Put one of these in the car, put it by the barbecue, take it on a trip on the boat or on a camping trip. These guys are available at Lowe's. Get you a few cans and be real convenient and safe at the same time. All right, lastly, let's talk about indoor air quality with the Easy Breathe Home ventilation system. What this is going to do is it's going to exchange all the air in your house by removing 85% of those particulates, of that stagnant, dirty, damp air from that lower level. Ultimately, this is going to protect you from excess moisture, from mold, toxins, especially if you have allergies. This Easy Breathe system is absolutely amazing. Really great stuff here. Also, what it's going to do is it allows us to reclaim portions of our house, like our basement and other areas that aren't being used. So again, Easy Breathe ventilation system is an amazing upgrade. I have all this up for you guys on WadeWorksCreative.com. In case you missed anything, we've got all the links up.
All right. Well, Chip, it was a real pleasure. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Cheryl.
And we'll be back with more.
Every weekend, ride with Get TV's Posse.
Saddle my horse.
Laredo.
You're looking for trouble?
The Bolt Brothers.
Here come the brides.
Hondo.
I got a job to do.
Casey Jones. Father Murphy. Hawkeye.
I'll find him.
Maverick.
What do I have to do?
And Walker.
Just tell me when and where.
Weekends under the big sky. All weekend, every weekend on Get TV.
Each weekend on KCTU 5.2.
I'm Morris Langworthy, Chief Meteorologist at NewsNet. At NewsNet, we're working around the clock to bring you the latest weather conditions, right where you live and around the country. We're using the latest technology to bring you those conditions. If it's rainy, sunny, or even severe, you'll be prepared. Tune into NewsNet for the latest weather forecast at 12 and 42 past the hour around the clock, only on NewsNet.
Well, summer's almost here, and of course that means travel season is too. And here to help with planning an epic trip is adventure journalist Kinga Phillips, who was recently the first female to host Shark Week on Discovery Channel and has hosted numerous travel shows, including Finding Adventure with Kinga Phillips and Lost in the Wild on Travel Channel. Hi, Kinga. It's good to have you here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So what's your philosophy for planning a great vacation?
Well, I was just in French Polynesia island hopping and swimming with sharks for Shark Week. But even if that's not on everyone's bucket list, I always recommend going as immersive and off the grid as possible.
Okay, so do you have an adventure destination in mind?
I love a good road trip, and one of my favorite destinations is North Dakota, with gorgeous sunflower fields, some of the darkest skies in the U.S. for stargazing and even northern lights, and the Great 8 dinosaur adventures for dinosaur and fossils. My dad was a geologist, so I love fossils. And North Dakota Tourism has put together a great list for 10 legendary ideas that will inspire your next getaway. And you know, North Dakota is just an amazing, affordable destination with great, beautiful, wide open vistas, vibrant communities, exciting adventures for every budget, and you can learn more about that at legendaryroadtrip.com.
What about camping? Do you have any suggestions for that?
I do. I love camping, so I was so excited when Jackery came out with the new Jackery Solar Generator 2000 Pro. It's a portable solar generator powered by the sun, and it charges in 2.5 hours and can power up to 8 small household appliances at once. So you can bring with you your laptop, your heated blanket, your electric grill without compromising comfort or the environment. And it is fantastic for glamping, for RVs, for family campers and digital nomads like myself. And you can learn more about it at Jackery.com. You can also find it on Amazon.com.
See, my idea of roughing it is no hair dryer.
Oh.
So do you have any secrets for a more comfortable adventure?
I do. You know, something that is uncomfortable are bugs. And so I always bring with me STEM, which is an innovative new pest control line, which is rooted in nature, optimized by science, plant-derived ingredients that are safe for family and pets when used as directed, but tough on bugs. So STEM bug killer spray for ants, for flies, for roaches is a great thing to bring with you, whether you are renting a cabin or off the grid like I normally am. It's just an awesome product that I love, and I love that it's natural. You can learn more about it at stemforbugs.com, and you can find it at most retailers for less than $7.
Cool. What about those that just want to relax?
Well, I have an adventure for you. So I think that the ultimate summer getaway for relaxing and adventures with those who matter most is something that you can book. It is an unlimited luxury and all-inclusive adventure to Dreams Jade Resort and Spa by AMR Collection, and you can book that at dreamsresort.com. Gorgeous Riviera Cancun location. It has something for everyone, including 3 heated pools, a luxury spa, an upscale gym, and clubs for kids and teens to keep them occupied. And if you book before July 12th, you can get up to 40% off and receive a $200 resort credit with a Seize Your Sunshine promotion.
Cool. Yeah, I think planning a vacation around activities that you really enjoy makes it a vacation for everyone.
Absolutely right.
So where can we go to learn more?
You can go to tipsontv.com, and all the wonderful things I just told you about are right there.
All right. Well, Kinga, it was a real pleasure. Thanks for joining us today.
Always a pleasure. Safe travels.
And we'll be back with more.
8 years ago, my daughter called to say she was expecting our first grandchild. But I never actually heard her say that. And the first time my granddaughter called me Papa, I didn't hear that one either. Can you imagine? Oh, I know I lost some of my hearing, but I was embarrassed, too stubborn to admit that. For Father's Day a few years ago, Gina and Ryan bought me a nano hearing aid. And my precious Ryan, I love hearing her call me Papa. I love hearing everything again.
What if you're not hurt by not wearing a hearing aid? You're going to have many more special moments in your life. Don't miss hearing a single one of them. Call Nano. Order your full pair of hearing aids for only $297.
1-800-279-6804.
Make today the day you finally start hearing better again with nano hearing aids.
1-800-279-6804. 1-800-279-6804.
Were you a victim of a high-pressure or dishonest timeshare sales agent? Were you misled and confused with what you were buying? Did the timeshare fail to deliver what you were promised? Do you feel that you overpaid and just want out? If you answered yes to any of these questions, we can help. We're Timeshare Compliance. Our team can legally terminate your timeshare agreement, ending the payments forever. With one simple call, we can help end the financial suffering.
Call 800-230-3818, 800-230-3818.
Welcome back to your hour. You know, everyone wants to be a smart shopper, but shopping sales and closeouts isn't necessarily the best way to shop. We have Allison Dayette with us today to help us find companies that work to keep our business. Hi, Allison.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Well, what do we, how do we find programs that will save us money long term?
Well, basically, you want to look for companies, and you can easily do this online. There's so much vast resources and research online that you can look up the companies you're interested in to find ways of companies that do good, that share your values, that give back, or even companies that offer you incentives and rebates. So 2 companies that are really great about giving back, because, a lot of us would like to donate to charities, but sometimes at the end of the month, when we paid the bills, we don't have enough of a contribution we feel like we can make. Well, then align yourself with companies that are doing that. Whirlpool's one of them. They actually are the largest corporate sponsor of Habitat for Humanity, and since 1999, they have quietly donated a refrigerator and range to every Habitat home built in the country.
Oh, that's terrific.
Isn't it great? And this year, they're going to start a corporate annual building blitz with Habitat to build 10 homes in a different city every year. So it's nice that, you know, if you're thinking about making an appliance, you know, purchase, you might want to align yourself or share the values of that kind of company.
Well, sure, and it's not like it. It's not a good name or a recognizable name.
Right, it's a recognizable name, and it's something that they do quietly. They don't do lots of advertising about it, so it's just kind of something you'd have to, unless a segment like this, you'd find out on your own, like doing research. Another great company is Purina, which are passionate about pets, and they have a 20-year program called Pets for People program, and it's still going strong, where they cover the costs of seniors age 60 and older to adopt pets. And they give away 1.5 million adoption kits to new pet owners across the country. And those adoption kits are great because they have samples of food for the week, training kits, you know, food coupons. And then this year, they're going to be donating $500,000 to animal welfare organizations across the country that care for homeless pets, which is really fabulous. And they offer you a chance to get involved by logging on to PurinaPetLove.com, PetLover.com, and you can order their book, Dogs or Cats 24/7, and a portion of the proceeds of that book goes towards helping homeless pets. And you can even customize the cover of the book too with your own pet, so you can kind of get involved with the artwork.
Oh, that sounds like kind of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's also a great gift or coffee table book. And then obviously, okay, so we're looking at companies that do good, but you also want to look at companies that give back, that work to keep your business. And a great way to do that is find a good credit card. No longer should anyone be buying the plain Jane credit card that, you know, has high interest rates, high annual fees. Look for companies that give you rebates, incentives, airline miles, something that works to keep your business. A great one is the Shell Platinum MasterCard. It gives cardholders a 5% rebate on all Shell gasoline purchases. So with the average car holding about 18 gallons per tank, well, you can save about $2.50 every time you're filling up your gas tank. Plus, they give you a 1% rebate on all your other purchases, and all of this shows up on your monthly statement, whereas a lot of other credit cards wait till end of the year. But this shows up on your monthly statement, and it's applied towards future Shell gas purchases. So suddenly you're saving money, especially with vacation season around the corner. And if you use the card more than 9 times a year, which quite frankly, a lot of us use our credit cards 9 times a week, you then have no annual fee. And they have lots of details, not only about how much you might save in your rebates or how to apply for it at 877myshell.com.
Well, very good. What about if we just want to keep more of our money?
Well, stop spending it. No, I mean, it's really just a way, I think obviously a lot of us need to learn how to budget and need to stop looking at our closets and saying they have nothing to wear and stop shopping for new clothes. But really look for those incentives for companies. Look for ways like a Shell Platinum MasterCard where you can save money, where when you're spending money, you're getting some of that money back in your own pocket or it's applied to future purchases. And that's a great way where companies are working with you to say, hey, we know what it's all about. We want to keep your business. We're going to work with you. And a lot of this information can be found just by doing like Google searches, putting in company names. If you're making a large purchase or you're making regular purchases every week, look up those companies, look up other companies. There might be another company, same quality, that's offering you something that another company wasn't.
Well, you know, these are really good things to know because most of the time we're talking about purchases that people will be making anyway.
Anyway, right. This is not something, you know, off in the distance, something you barely buy, would never consider. These are regular purchases people are making on a daily basis.
So it's really nice to know that you can save money. You can also trade with a company that gives back to the community. Those are all really good things for people to do.
Yeah, it's definitely a win-win situation.
Well, Allison, we've really enjoyed your visit with us today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And credit cards, where were we without before they existed?
Well, credit cards and the internet. I mean, those two go hand in hand.
That's right.
You know,
it's easy to spend money.
Well, and I tell you what, with the price of gas, it's so much easier to shop on the internet.
Well, you bought some paper goods recently.
I did, and you know, if you feel like you pay a lot for shipping, but you're saving so much in gas.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Coming up on KCTU Reports, an update on the arena.
In a moment's notice, the day's top story can change. The weather can take a turn for the worst, and one score can lead to the upset of a lifetime. That's why Newsnet is working to bring you the latest throughout the day and into the night, with constant updates on developing stories and continuing coverage of the news that affects you. So be sure to join me, Remington Hernandez, every weeknight on Newsnet Evening Edition.
Have old junk cluttered up office space and laying around and wondering what to do with it? Give us a call. American E-Waste Recycling, located at 716 South Washington. Phone us at 316-871-9858. Come see Todd. We accept all household, yard equipment type, business items, and medical type items. Food pickups for schools and businesses. American E-Waste Recycling, located at 716 South Washington.
About 20 million Americans are estimated to live with non-alcoholic liver disease called NASH, which is related to type 2 diabetes and obesity. But the number of NASH patients is growing, and it can progress to scarring, cirrhosis, and even liver cancer. It is the main indicator of needing a liver transplant. NASH is particularly challenging because awareness about it is low. There is no medical treatment for it outside of lifestyle changes.
So non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, or NASH, is a type of fatty liver disease that affects probably a portion of the United States. NAFLD affects about 25%, a quarter of the U.S. population. And NASH is a smaller proportion of that, but can actually develop scarring of the liver, fibrosis, and ultimately cirrhosis. And these patients will be at risk for complications like liver cancer, liver failure, and other complications of liver disease.
NASH is worrisome because even a lot of healthcare providers aren't well aware of it, and in the past a liver biopsy has been the only way to test for NASH and determine a patient's risk for it. But now a special blood test has been developed that will give patients the knowledge to help them chart out their best treatment options.
And this is the first and only approved non-invasive prognostic blood test. And what this test does is it helps healthcare providers and patients understand what the patient's risk is for progression to severe liver outcomes.
Dr. Cooper says ELF is now included in the American Association of Clinical Endocrinology's clinical practice guidelines.
Your home is your castle, and it's your biggest investment. It doesn't matter if it needs new exterior paint, new siding, a sunny new deck, a kitchen update with wallpaper removal, or new cabinets with a granite top. Your home can be like new with a paint job or flooring. With 9 years experience and 5 years as a licensed insured business, Los Reyes Painting and Remodeling does residential or commercial work for a reasonable price. To get your free estimate to make your castle look like new, call 316-409-0002. Welcome back to Your Hour. Coming up in a little bit, we're going to hear from Stacy Johnson with Money Talks.
But first, we're going to hear the latest news from the KCTU newsroom with R.J. Dickens.
Nominated for a 2005 Heartland Emmy Award for Best Dayside Newscast, KCTU reports in Your Hour. An arena design is chosen. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm R.J. Dickens. It's 86 degrees at Wichita's Mid-Continent Airport. Here's what you'll be talking about this afternoon. Within the past half hour, Sedgwick County Commissioners voted to accept the design option for the proposed downtown arena after several weeks of public input.
Based on feelings and sentiments of the community, however, option B, if we had to give you a preference, would be the preferred option.
The final design and construction phases should take another year or so. Other details, such as parking and traffic flow, are still being considered. In a news conference this morning at the shooting range at Lake Afton, federal, state, and local law enforcement officials delivered a status report on the first year of the Wichita Area Gun Task Force. A number of firearms confiscated by task force members were put on display, and the SWAT team put on a demonstration. The U.S. Senate this morning voted to limit a debate on controversial immigration reform bill. On a 73-25 vote, the bill now moves to a final vote this week. The bill includes a mandatory database employers will now have to run all new hires through to check their legal status. The database would have information from the Internal Revenue Service, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Social Security Administration. Employers not utilizing the database would be subject to fines of $200 to $600, while those who hire undocumented aliens could be fined up to $20,000 or face prison sentences of up to 3 years. A public meeting to discuss a planned development for 53rd and Meridian is scheduled for 7 to 8:30 p.m. tonight at the Law Enforcement Training Center gym at 37th and Meridian. Residents in the affected area are encouraged to attend. Plans for the area reportedly have included a possible Walmart supercenter at that intersection. A previous proposal had been voted down last year by the Metropolitan Area Planning Commission. Fire investigators were still on scene at mid-morning at a house fire near Meridian and MacArthur. The fire was reported first around 5:30 this morning, and firefighters were still working the blaze more than 2 hours later. Meridian between MacArthur and 45th Street South was closed for the entire morning rush hour as firefighters attempted to get the flames under control. And on the police blotter today, authorities are searching for a man wanted for robbing the Commerce Bank branch on South Woodlawn. The robbery occurred shortly after 10:30 yesterday morning. The robber was armed with a silver handgun. He approached the teller and demanded money. A Wichita police detective spotted the robber and recovered the money when a dye pack exploded. The suspect is described as 6 feet tall, 220 pounds, wearing a baggy gray sweatpant and a black hoodie. His place was covered by a blue bandana with its eye holes cut out. It's 88 degrees at the KCTU studios in downtown Wichita. Taking a look at current conditions.
Winds are from the southwest at 10 miles per hour. Relative humidity is 62%, and the barometric pressure is 29.95 inches.
Storm Predator 5 radar shows nothing but ground clutter in its 150-mile sweep. Your Storm Predator 5 ICAST for Wichita, Park City, and vicinity.
This afternoon, mostly sunny, highs 90 to 95, southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, increasing clouds, lows in the mid-60s, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, and for Thursday, mostly sunny, highs near 90, northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour.
On Wall Street, the major averages are retracing earlier highs at midday. At noon Eastern, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 35 1/3 to 11,134. The NASDAQ was up 8 1/4 to 2167. The Standard & Poor's 500 was up nearly 2.5 to 1259. And the KCTU River City Index of Wichita and the Northland's 20 largest publicly traded employers is down $2.36 to 448.42. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. In sports, there's action underway at Lawrence Dumont Stadium as the Wichita Wranglers wrap up a 3-game series with the Corpus Christi Hooks. And finally, surgeons who warm up by playing video games like Super Monkey Ball for 20 minutes prior to performing surgical drills were faster and made fewer errors than those who did not, according to Dr. James Rosser, lead investigator on the study released today. The research involved 303 surgeons participating in a medical training course that included video games and was focused on laparoscopic surgical procedures, which use a tiny video camera and long, slender instruments inserted through small incisions. The study was conducted by Beth Israel Medical Center in New York City in conjunction with the National Institute on Media and the Family, which proves something or other. James Barfield will be in at 7 o'clock tonight for the River City Forum, and we'll be back with Stacy Johnson and Money Talks as your hour continues.
Well, speaking of that, when we come back with Stacy Johnson of Money Talks, one of the things he's going to be talking about is leasing phones. A lot of people are still paying on their monthly phone bill. They're still paying for phones that are on a lease that they probably don't even have anymore. So those are things that they're suggesting that you take a look at your phone bill and see exactly what it is on your phone bill that you're paying for, because you might need to make a phone call to the phone company and say, wait a minute, I think we need to discuss this. One of the things also is resolving conflicts with neighbors. Many times people would rather take somebody to court than to try to resolve a conflict on their own. And Stacy Johnson suggests the wisdom of actually talking to your neighbor and making the initial effort at trying to resolve the conflict yourselves before you have to take illegal action. Anyway, we'll be back with that when your hour returns.
As the day breaks, so does the news. So while you're getting ready or making breakfast, the world is changing, and it doesn't stop when you walk out the door. That's why here at Newsnet, we work around the clock to bring you the latest developments. On today's top stories, what's happening in the world of entertainment, last night's scores, and your forecast. So be sure to join me, Victoria Idoni, every weekday on Newsnet Mornings.
Every weekend, ride with Get TV's Posse.
Saddle my horse.
Laredo.
You looking for trouble?
The Bolt Brothers.
Here come the brides.
Hondo.
I got a job to do.
Casey Jones. Father Murphy. Hawkeye.
I'll find him.
Maverick.
What do I have to do?
And Walker.
Just tell me when and where.
Weekends under the big sky. All weekend, every weekend on Get TV.
Each weekend on KCTU 5.2.
It's not really an antique, it's not even a collectible. But this early 1970s AT&T telephone cost Norm Germani about $1,500.
I've been paying $20 a month for the past 33 years.
And paying for 4 phones he hasn't seen in about 15 years. Almost 1 million consumers still lease their phones, and many of them may not even know it, since, like Norm, they threw out those old phones but continued paying the bills.
I believe they should have told me something about it, that you can get out of this lease and it's leased equipment.
Every bill does state that the customer can get out of their lease of their phone at any time, but that requires reading the bill. Another problem is a lot of these lease customers like Norm thought they were paying AT&T phone bills, not equipment leases. But AT&T doesn't even own the leased phone business. That falls under the spin-off company Lucent. The bill says AT&T, the sales pitches say it, even the contract says it, and so do the more than 250 checks that Norm wrote every month without fail. So why is it AT&T's name is on the bill? Because Lucent leases the name and logo from AT&T. And the final insult for Norm was when he did return the leased phones, AT&T wanted a recovery fee for the one he can't get off his wall.
To me, it was rather insulting to ask for $17 after I paid them $7,000 over 33 years.
Bottom line, leased phones are a definite wrong number, so drop it if you have it, and see if you can convince the phone company not to have any hang-ups about waiving those recovery fees.
He must not like kids a lot to take a gun out on them and take their toys.
He came out at one point with a gun and scared my children in the alley. It was a BB gun, but they didn't know that. He used to complain about the kids' balls going in his yard when they were in the street playing ball. He used to take them and we had to call the cops to get them back. We eventually had to get a restraining order against him after the gun incident, and that was very uncomfortable.
While you may not have experienced a neighbor that nasty, practically everyone has a problem neighbor sooner or later. So, what's step one?
He's your neighbor or she's your neighbor, so you're going to be living next to each other. Might as well go and talk. See if you can resolve something. You know, try to be friendly.
I let my husband deal with it, and he would try to talk to him, and he just wouldn't have anything to do with anybody. He would shut the door and go into town.
Well, I would send him a letter. Should you need to file something later on, at least you have something to show that you attempted to try to get something resolved.
Neighbors still not playing ball? Talk to other neighbors and see if they'll help. And then?
Maybe hire an attorney. Have them send a letter.
And if there's still no resolution, that only leaves police if it's criminal and lawsuits if it's civil. But don't forget step one.
Talk to your neighbor. Communication. I would say half of the cases in court are lack of communication.
Bottom line, there is no simple way to deal with bad neighbors. But you do have rights, and understanding those rights is step one to solving the problem.
They want it to smell like no one else has sat in it before.
I love a new car smell. Love it.
You already know that cigarettes and fast food are bad for you, and now at least one group is going after another sacred cow, the smell you find in a brand new car. A group called the Ecology Center recently released a report claiming that 2 chemicals behind that new car smell can be toxic over time.
Both of these chemicals have been linked to birth defects, learning impairment, liver toxicity, premature birth, and early puberty in laboratory animals.
The American Alliance of Automobile Manufacturers says that logic stinks. They point to European studies claiming these chemicals, which are actually fire retardants and plastic softeners, are plenty safe, and their skepticism seems to be shared in the showroom.
I would probably call them a group of environmental wackos trying to take away everything that we like.
But if you are worried, take heart. Manufacturers, both at home and abroad, are beginning to voluntarily reduce the use of those chemicals or substitute other ones. What's not apparent in all these reports is if these chemical substitutes are going to smell as good. But if they don't, it's not a problem. You can get that new car smell without the chemicals or the new car sticker at almost any auto parts store. For Money Talks, I'm Stacy Johnson.
And if they take that chemical out, you sit in your seat after 6 months and it cracks.
Oh, well, what the heck. No, nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, it's already used when you drive it off the showroom floor.
In our first segment, we had Trevor Stewart, who played the Chapman stick for us. That was a beautiful instrument.
Did a very good job, too.
Yes. This is the information. If anyone is wanting to find out more about him, you can go to myspace.com/Trevor Stewart, or you can email him at trevor3k@juno.com, or you can call him at 267-7871. Especially if you want to book him. Sounds like he's a busy young man. When Chris was talking to him earlier, he had several things going on in the very near future. So.
Yeah, I talked to him about getting him to lay some musical beds down for some of our productions.
He also mentioned that I asked him how he learned to play the Chapman stick, and he said primarily he's self-taught, because when he first picked up the Chapman stick, he was about the only person in Kansas playing it.
It's really hard to take lessons or get a tutor if nobody knows how to do it.
Yeah, so he had enough musical knowledge of other instruments that were related to that he pretty much just taught himself.
Yeah, he was saying that you don't pluck it, you just thump it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was really interesting. It was beautiful music, so we'll probably see more of Trevor in the future. So anyway, we'll be back with more Your Hour. Ron and I are going to read some of the opinions from the Wichita Eagles opinion line when we come back.
Don't touch that dial. Ron and Cheryl read the Wichita Eagle opinion line when Your Hour continues.
When your yard needs a cleanup and you need help. When your yard needs mowing and your neighbor's yard looks like this. Your shrubs need some trimming. Wichita Lawn Care does it all. Commercial and residential lawn maintenance. Fully insured, offering contactless billing to keep you safe. Fair, dependable, and on time. Services to match the budget. Excellent customer service. A Christian family business. Highly recommended on Google. Wichita Lawn Care LLC. Owner Adam Fry. 316-393-4162. We take pride in what we do.
Hair, that's our business. We're Riverside Hair Station at the corner of 11th and Bidding. We're a cool, funky salon with modern styles and a relaxed atmosphere. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Riverside. Specializing in all hair services, we also offer tanning, nails, massage, waxing, and makeup. Gift certificates are always available. So come experience Riverside Hair Station at 816 West 11th or call 264-4807.
Welcome back. We always get a kick out of reading some of the comments in the opinion line, because in some cases it gives you an indication of how well or how poorly people pay attention to what's really going on.
Like the first one, for instance. Someone suggested underground parking for the arena. Obviously, this would be a problem for an over-the-river arena.
which was an idea who came and went. That was Dave Bayouth's idea for an arena on the river, and I really liked that idea.
Yes, and it saved the room that they would have room for parking on that side of the river.
Well, right, and also it would have saved taking a bunch of businesses off of the tax rolls. So anyway, it was a good idea, but it because it was a good idea, it didn't go anywhere.
Well, and then the one you're going to read here also indicates that the people can't drop it. I mean, the thing passed, and they're not to read this one.
Let's make like we're Florida and do a recount on the arena.
And the next one has to do with the arena also. Let's start a petition to change the design of the arena. Cut out the VIP seats and parking. All 200 of them. Skyboxes are always needed. This arena is designed to flop because there is nowhere to park.
Well, I agree that's one of the huge flaws of all the arena plans that I've seen. They have no plan for parking. And for crying out loud, we already know that parking downtown stinks.
Yes, we've been there, got the T-shirt.
Yeah, so, you know, if you can't design it with adequate parking, it's stupid. I didn't know there was a Museum of World Treasures because I have to work 2 jobs to afford future events at the arena. I like somebody who plans ahead.
And this one, the Museum of World Treasures, should move into Exploration Place.
Oh, no, that's for the casino.
Yeah, we're saving that for the casino, mind you. The right to vote carries with it the responsibility to put forth a little effort to get to the polling place and make sure you're voting for the right person.
Well, that's true. You do have the right to vote, but you do have a responsibility for checking out the candidates and having a little bit of a clue as to who you're voting for.
Our voting place was one of those places they eliminated too, so we're going to have to go scouting to see where we're going.
Yeah, we got that information in the mail, but it's somewhere. The city chased the strip joints out of the downtown area, but you can now go to the theater downtown and watch a play that features nudity. How strange is that?
Yes, and all those girls that was working at that one place,
Babes and Boobs?
Yeah, are now
There's
out
no
of jobs.
boobs. There's no boobs in the title.
Booze,
It's
booze.
Babes and Booze.
That's right, okay. Yes, send all the illegals back. As far as the excuse that the illegals take the jobs no one wants, those who employ illegals would have to pay an honest wage to hire Americans. Now, an honest wage, what has happened, we are no longer a producing nation. We're a user nation, a consumer nation, and that's because the unions have gotten the price of wages so high we can't afford to make the merchandise.
So all the things have been outsourced to other countries,
That's right.
and okay. I think men who commit domestic violence should have to register just as sex offenders do. That way a woman can look and see if the man who's charming her socks off is really a violent predator. But how many women would check?
True.
I mean,
how many
really,
women
how
would
many?
believe it if he's charming their socks off? She's not going to accept that.
Right.
I saw the movie The Da Vinci Code and still believe in God and that Jesus was his son. Put that in your Bible and thump it.
Congratulations to all of the 2006 graduates. You have all worked very hard to get where you are today.
And the last
That's
one
nice
from
one.
the printed opinion line. Can the eagle have a Sam Brownback article in which it doesn't swoon over him?
I don't know. That's a good question. Now, the rest of these are from the Opinion Line Extra. The Opinion Line Extra appears on Kansas.com, which is the Eagles' internet site, and I guess that these are probably opinions that didn't make deadline. I have a hard time making ends meet. Why doesn't the Museum of World Treasures subsidize my mortgage? Then I can only pay $1 a year.
It took me more than an hour to just get out of the parking bottleneck downtown after the Wichita River Festival. What's it going to be like at the arena? It only takes me 30 minutes to get home from the Kansas Coliseum. Of course, it may take you 45 minutes to get out of the parking lot out there.
Well, yeah. Once you get out of the parking lot,
You fly home.
the rest is easy. But getting out of the parking lot sometimes can be challenging. To all the taxpayers who supported the downtown arena, get used to it.
And I'd like to put my own in there to all those that were against it. Get used to it. It passed.
Yeah. The only thing is, I don't believe in beating a dead horse. The fact that it passed, However, I do think that a lot more thought needs to go into the planning of the arena and the subsequent parking and traffic flow and those
Yes,
types
the
of things.
location may have to be changed. in
Yeah,
this
I
property, too.
agree. The lazy people who are complaining about parking for the arena need to suck it up and realize they might have to walk a few blocks. A few blocks is no big deal. What we're talking about is probably more like a half a mile
Or more.
or more.
And then you'd be paying $2 for 30 minutes or some ridiculous amount like that. If we're going to have an arena, let's do it right with parking places.
Exactly, exactly. Our downtown arena should be named the Sedgwick County Taxpayers Arena.
Well, what they're talking about there is the labeling, and they can get millions of dollars if they call it the not KCTU. If they call it the KAKE, they probably could pay the $1 million or so. Arena?
Okay,
No, I wasn't one of the 669 who expressed opinions about the design for the arena. My complaint is that I have to pay for this monstrosity.
well, we all do. I expressed my opinion for the arena when I voted no for the stupid thing. Okay.
I just heard that more than 200 billion will change minds on the internet.
Hands.
Oh, yeah, minds too. Let's start over. I just heard that more than 200 billion will change hands on the internet this year. Most of it's tax-free. It's more than a pastime for the government to stop this freeloading and get what it deserves. Well, now you have to look at all the details. You have to know what you're talking about before you make a statement like that.
Yeah. Whose government?
Yeah, this is a world, internet is a world project. It isn't something that any one government can charge tax on.
President Bush was wrong by listening to the wrong people. That statement is the ultimate example of no one being responsible. The president isn't even responsible for his own decisions anymore. The buck doesn't stop anywhere anymore, I guess.
Now the buck stops when it gets to our billfolds and we're paying for it. Now that Congress is saying I have to speak English, do I have to stop saying all those Spanish words like mosquito?
Rodeo and tornado. That's loco.
No, there is one here.
That's funny. I think we should send all illegal immigrants home. As for who could do the work we don't want to do, try giving those jobs to the homeless. We won't give the homeless the jobs because they don't have a physical address, but we'll give them to people who are in this country illegally. I think that is wrong. When was the last time a homeless person applied for a job?
Yeah, a lot of the homeless people really don't want to have a home. Greed, greed, greed will be the death of America. And that so ends the opinion line for today.
And
what do we have coming up tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow is going to be a busy day. We're going to be talking to the coaches of the Park City Cowboys and the Newton Rebels.
That's right.
And I believe we'll have the general manager of one of those teams and the one of the players and the other one. I don't have my notes. My notes are upstairs. But we're going to have 4 people here from the game that we're going to be doing on Sunday.
And you'll be able to see that game on Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock.
Yeah. And then we're going to be talking to Trenda Alexander, who is Mrs. Kansas International, and she's going to be talking to us about her platform. And then Paul Rosales.
Her platform?
And then
is she running for something? Or is she just standing there?
And then Paul Rosales from Remax Realty Professionals will be here as well.
With his platform?
Both of them. So anyway, I have a lot going on this week, so you want to stay tuned. Be sure and tune into TV5 every day at noon.
We enjoy doing this show. We hope you enjoy it.
Thanks for watching. Have a good day.
You're watching KCTU 5, Wichita and the world.